everybody, welcome to Crafty Hour number 19. We are getting up there. Welcome. I'm just going to get everybody on board here. We're going to start in about 2 minutes. So welcome, good morning. Please make sure you have your die cutting machine handy because we are going to do a few of the die cuts that came in this kit. It was a very fun kit, quite different than what we've done in the past. Hello. Welcome. Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Crafty Hour 19. Thank you, Janice. Now you know what happens when we do a Crafty Hour. That means tomorrow we have a new Crafty Hour to share, and this one is going to be really exciting. So good morning. Hello, everybody. Thank you for hopping on and saying good morning. Excellent. Good. I'm so glad everybody is here. So we are going to make 3 cards with myself this morning, and then this afternoon, 5 p.m. Pacific time, on Courtney's page, Scrapbook and Memories, you are going to have another project with her this afternoon. And this is really exciting. I think you're going to love the project that Courtney does this afternoon. I have had a sneak peek of it, and I can't wait to make it. So hooray! With myself this morning, we're going to make these 3 cards. And I do want to make sure that you have done your homework. So I did post, I'm just going to grab these. I did post both on Clipper Street's page and Crafty Hour's page, the homework. So the die cuts that you need to do, on a couple of them, I did tell you to have some spare items that were not in your kit, to have those handy so that we can do that. You're also going to want to make sure that you have your chipboard handy and these fabulous puffy stickers. So you have some puffy stickers here. All of these will work even if you use a different one than myself. So please make sure you have your puffy stickers handy and all your tools. We are going to use our dies this morning. These are your adorable little dies. There was a terrarium and some mushrooms and some leaves. We are going to use these today. So please make sure that you have these handy as well. And let's see, well, your die cutting machine. Now, you can obviously watch. There is no pressure. I do want to get through these 3 cards with you today. So we do want to, I'm gonna go at a good speed. Remember, this is on demand. You can always watch it later. I know a lot of you, have a cup of coffee and watch and then create later. Totally fine. There is no need to panic. My goal is to get through the 3 cards. And of course, you can always come back and watch later. So just a reminder, tomorrow morning, we are going to go live with a new Crafty Hour. These Crafty Hours have been in our store, like 6 months now, at least. Maybe even more than 6 months. So they are a discontinued item. What that means is we can't get any more. So tomorrow morning, we're going to go live with that. You will want to watch for details. I'll post details on our Crafty Hour page. And you're definitely going to want to make sure you get in on that. Okay, are we ready? Anybody got some thumbs ups? And we'll see if we are ready to get started. We have 3 cards to make this morning. I'm going to start with the easiest. Obviously, that's always a good place to start. Yeah, the camping one was a lot of fun. And it's not even just camping. It is a great one for outdoors. My son is quite an outdoors guy, so this would be for a birthday card for him as well. Okay, so let's start. We are going to have one of your cards. Find one of your cards in your kit. Your kit did include a bunch of cards. So we're going to start with our cards. I need one of those. And I want you to find these 2 papers. We have the blue sky with some clouds. We're going to use that paper. And then I also want you to find the gray striped paper. These are the two. Blue sky with clouds and gray stripes. You got lots of papers in there, and you're going to have a lot of fun with all of the leftovers. I can't wait to see what you guys are going to make on these. Now, these papers are fairly thin. They are definitely not 49 and market thickness, so I am able to cut them both at the same time. If you have this trimmer, you absolutely can, and they are the same size. So our first cut is going to be the 2 1/4. Now, I want my stripes to run a certain way, so I want you to have them so that the stripes are going up and down, pointing towards you. Okay, we are going to cut with these stripes. We're going to cut right along the stripes. They're the same, so I am going to choose to cut both papers at the same time. If you don't want to, that's okay, but I know that this trimmer can totally handle it. 2 1/4, and we are going to cut both of those papers at 2 1/4. Now, the papers that fall off, we're not going to be using these again, so you can put these two away. We're just going to work with these two pieces, and they're both 2 1/4. Now, they're both going to have the same length, so we're going to take them to 5 1/2, both of them. And again, I'm going to cut them together. Saves me a little bit of time, and they're not a problem to do that. These I'm just going to toss. So I have two pieces of paper. I have the clouds and I have the stripe. Now what we're going to do is just glue them on right to the very top. They should be the same size as the card. And then this one is going to go over top. Now, very important, when I put this one over top, I am not going to put glue right to the very top because I do have something I need to stuff in there. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to start with my cloud paper. Get my little glue booger off there. Okay, so we're going to start with our clouds. And I'm going to move that right to the very, very top. Right to the top. No borders on this one at all. Okay, make sure that I'm good there. Looks good. Now, again, I'm going to avoid that little bit at the very, very top so that it has a little bit of a wiggle room to put some in. Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you for hopping on. You can watch this back anytime you want. Make your cards at your speed. So you can see I left some space at the very, very top that I can put that down in. Okay, and this is going to overlap. Just a little bit, but it will overlap. Okay, so I have created kind of my background scene with this. And like I mentioned, this card is really easy. We are now just going to start attaching our die cuts. So let's bring in our die cuts. And of course we need some foam tape. Oh, and one more thing, I might need a pop dot. So let me grab some of those. Okay. So you should have got all of your die cuts ready. And I'm going to start with the small mountain, little mountain. And this one I'm going to glue flat. And I'm going to glue it flat, let's say right about there. It's going to be maybe about an inch in. You guys know me, I don't measure. Look at that, inch on the dot. So I'm going to move him over just a little bit. About an inch in. And he's going to glue flat. I am slightly tucking him behind that paper. So I think I'll use this glue. Just put a little bit on there. This is the small mountain. Oop! Good thing it didn't glue down. That's usually what happens. And right about there. Okay, that's the first one I'm going to do. The next one is going to be the big mountain. We're going to put Mount Everest on here. And that one is going to go with some foam tape. Okay, so I'm going to put some foam tape on this mountain. Maybe a piece on the bottom. Maybe a piece on the... Okay, and he is going to slightly overlap, and I'm going to come down just a little bit. Let's see if I can count how many lines on mine. Let's see, if I count everyone as a line, 1, 2, 3, about 4 lines down. So 1, 2, 3, yeah, I'm about right. Slightly overlapping, so it's going to be almost in the middle, almost. Closey's count. Okay, now I'm going to go to my big tree. And that we have 3 trees. This is the biggest one. And I'm going to foam tape him right about there. He is going to overlap the corner of the mountain a little bit. So I'm going to keep my foam tape a little bit more to the right-hand side. So I do have that little space that I can overlap. And it's not going to be a problem. So if you have a look here, I've just got it more so on the right side. And this is going to come down quite a bit. I'm going to say right about there. Now, I noticed on mine, I did cut the tree trunk a little bit, and I can go back and do that. So I'm going to leave it for now. And you can see that I am just a little bit down. Now, I haven't pressed any of these super tight yet. So what that means is I can still pick it up if I need to and move him over slightly if I need to. So I never press it quite down strong when I'm creating a scene, just in case. Okay, now what I want you to do is find the solid green tree. Solid green tree, and that one's going to get glued flat right to the edge. A little bit of the bottom branch is going to actually hang over too, because let me show you what I wanted. That's what it's going to look like. Maybe I'll slide this, slide it up just a little bit, not a lot. That was a lot. I don't want to see, and this is maybe me being picky. One sec, let me show you once I get it where I want it. I don't want to see right on the very, very edge right here. I don't want to see that stripy paper. So I'm okay with it hanging over a little bit so that it covers that seam better. Okay, so small mountain, flat, large mountain foam tape, large tree foam tape, and green tree flat. That leaves us with one more tree that is going to fill the gap. And that is this little guy. Now he's going to go kind of in between those two, and I am going to put foam tape on him as well. Now I'm going to, again, probably try and keep the foam tape a little bit more to the right. I'm going to leave that left side a little bit empty because I am going to overlap them. Now I can't see that trunk. I want to move it over. There we go. Now it looks good. I like to see that trunk. Just tells me that it is there in good place. All right. So far we've got our forest set up. I'm going to grab that sun, the sunshine. I'm going to put a pop dot on the back of the sunshine. And I'm going to put my pop dot up in the very top right corner, just like so. It's going to be a sunny day. Next thing we're going to do is our camper. Love this camper, and I love the fact that your stamp set, where the heck is my box here? The stamp set has, oh my gosh, a camper that you can stamp, color, and it's easy-ish to cut out. But I love this because you can create whatever little color of a little camper that you like. And there's some fantastic words on here that do include the birthdays. Like I said, it's a good one for that. So a fantastic stamp set in there. Now this is going to get popped up. It's going to kind of cover. Let me show you the original. I'm going to have it cover the bottom of the mountain. So I might need a little bit of single foam tape there, but right under the base of it, I am going to double foam tape. So I'm going to flip it up, wheels in the air, and I'm going to put double foam tape along the bottom. Might be too long. Let's see. Nope, it's just fine. So double. And I'll put just a little one at the very, very top. Very, very top of it. So along the side with the wheels, that is my 2 times foam tape. And there I have my single. And I'm going to put this kind of right like that. Now the lines are going to help you get straight. I might move it down just a smidge. There we go. And that should sit nice and flat. Isn't he adorable? Oh my gosh. Goodness, goodness. Okay, one more thing we're going to do. Let me see if I did it double. Nope, I did single. And that is we have this adorable little tree trunk. So we're going to do that with single foam tape, just one piece on the back. And we're going to put this down in the very bottom left corner. Now you're going to go to your chipboard. I don't have any more chipboard because of course you only get one of each, but you have a sign that says wherever you go, go with all your heart. So you have this chipboard. I put foam tape behind it, and you'll notice that I stuck the sign behind the log. Okay, so go ahead and add in your little chipboard piece. That will be, you have 2 chipboards in there. So go ahead and find that. You got lots of cute little stuff in here. Go ahead and find your chipboard, foam tape behind that, and just tuck it right underneath. Now options you do have, I still am looking for my tray. I have no idea where my tray went. You do have some of these stunning blue shakers. I just love them. They're kind of an iridescent look to them. And what I did is I did put a couple just up in the sky, just kind of scattered 5 of them across. I'm going to do that if you're still working on your chipboard. That is okay. And of course, if you want to go back and add these, or maybe you choose not to. Come on, get out. Maybe you choose not to add them. That's totally okay. I tend to just be very sporadic with my gems and my sequins. And I'm just going to kind of put them anywhere. Now remember that they do take a little bit of time to dry. Oops, I don't think I have enough glue on that one. Just a few, maybe, 40 seconds. So you don't want to bump it in the meantime. Go ahead and add those if you want. Of course, you don't have to. I got one more spot of glue here. We'll just put that there. Oops, my glue dried. Put another dab of glue on there. Okay, that card is done. So that's a super easy one. We're going to take it up a notch with our next card. I'm going to move my sequins off to the side. And so you can do your sequins. Oh, look, we have one little thing here. So on your puffy sticker sheet, you have a whole bunch of puffy stickers. Choose which one works for you. On this one, I did Sunshine and Smiles, and I did it with foam tape. On this one, maybe I'll do Enjoy the Journey. They all will work. They have the same color palette, and I'm going to do it with a foam strip. It does have adhesive, so if you want to do it flat, of course you can. Flat is not usually in my vocabulary, So I'm going to put some foam tape, and I'm just going to put it right down on the bottom. All right, card number 1 is done. Of course, yours will have the little chipboard. Okay, we're going to move to card number 2, and we are going to do a little bit of die cutting on this one. So let me move this off to the side. Bring in all of these so I can tell you what to find. You've already done your die cuts. There was a lot of die cuts for this one. And I did mention a spare piece of 3.5 by 3.5 gold. I am going to use the textured. You see so very little of it that it doesn't matter whether it is exactly the same. There's my die set. So I want you to find your gold foil that is in your kit. You have a piece. You have a full piece. I always cut mine in half so Courtney and I don't fight. So you should have a full sheet. You can cut it in half if you wish. And then these are the 4 papers I need you to find. Okay. There is the dark pink. It's got some little dots type on it, a pink floral, a pink and green plaid, and a wood grain. Okay, I'll leave that there. There's 4 papers I need you to find. 4 papers. Dark pink, pink floral, pink plaid, and then the wood grain. And your gold foil. Okay, because we are going to do some die cuts with that. Okay, I'll just give you one more moment to find these. And your die cut machine and your die cuts. Now in your die cuts, we are going to use the terrarium one. And you have a couple of leaves. So those are the ones we're going to use. Just leaves. Just a couple of leaves. I'm going to put the rest of these dies away. So those are the dies I want you to find. 4 pattern papers, gold foil, and we're going to use this gold foil on another card. That's why I asked you for a spare piece. And then these 3 dies. Okay, we are going to start. You can see here we've got kind of a nice fun one that is a little bit more on the pink side. So great for our girly outdoors adventures. And I loved this little map. Seriously, how cool is that little map? We're going to make it 3D. So we're going to trim the card down because we are going to make this a square card. So I want you to take it so that the spine is at the top. And I want you to cut it to 4 1/4. That is going to make us a square card. 4 1/4. It is already 4 1/4 the other way. So we don't need to trim it twice. You can keep this or chuck it. We now have a square card. And you can have this card open whichever way you want. Your card, your choice. Okay, we're now going to go to I'm going to move the die cuts out of the way here so I can slide this over. We're going to do our gold foil. Now, we're not going to attach it yet because we're going to cut our die cuts out of it. But I want you to cut it to just under 4 1/4. So it's 4 1/8. 4 1/8 is in between 4 and 4 1/4. 4 1/8. Save this large piece for card number 3. I'm going to put it with my number 3 right now. And then I'm going to turn this and make it a square. 4 1/8 by 4 1/8. So that is our first one. 4 1/8 by 4 1/8. Now, out of this, I am going to do some die cutting. I'm going to put my die there, And I'm just going to put a couple of leaves on the side because I can do this all at once. You know that we're only going to see the edge, so we're going to make use of the middle. So I'm going to die cut those out right now. I'm going to head over to my die cut machine here. We want both those leaves. Let me slide this over. And I'm just die cutting it. And keep this die cut out. I'm going to put it back on my die cut surface here. Actually, let's do that right now and cut it right now. Okay, I'll just put that off to the side. I don't need any more leaves, so I'm going to put my leaves away so I don't lose those. And I am going to cut, and you can cut this down if you want. Maybe I'll cut it down just a little bit. Let's see, this die cut measures, I'll do it at about 2 3/4 should be good. Just so it's not quite so big in my trimmer. Now I want this to die cut so it's going up and down, and if you want to, pardon me, if you want to see some of the knots, of course you can move it around. You can see on here, this is this background piece that we are going to cut. So that works about good for me. I'm going to put that into my trimmer or my die cutter. And then that'll be it for die cutting for me. Oops, smash, smash, smash. So I have that now. It also die cuts this little frame. Well, of course, we do not need that at all. Which reminds me, I should have maybe brought some sticky specs with me this morning. Okay, put my dies away so I don't lose them. So I have my gold that I just die cut. And I don't need this gold arch, so you can put that away. I'm sure you can find something useful. We just need that gold frame to go around. This would make a cute little door as well. If you want to put a little door there, I think it's just adorable. And then the leaves, I'm going to push out and put them away for card number 3. So I'm going to move them up there. I love the detail on those leaves. It's just a beautiful one. Now we're going to glue this to our card. You should get a little border of white all the way around. So go ahead and glue that to your card. Kind of working around those cutouts because we've taken away some of that. Okay. And it doesn't matter yet which way your card goes. Not at all. We will we'll sort that out in a minute. I'm going to put that there. Okay, we're going to go to our dark pink. Dark pink. Our dark pink flower. Let me pick this up. We're going to cut a piece 4 by 4. Dark pink 4 by 4. So I think that one's an easy cut. Go ahead and cut it 4 by 4. And when you glue that on, you're going to, of course, cover everything up. Now, if you have a look at this pattern, there is a slight pattern. It almost looks like raindrops. That's the best way I'm going to describe it. So if it matters to you, you might want to watch which way your pattern is going. Maybe you want it going sideways. Maybe you want it going up and down. Totally your choice. I just want you to be aware that when you go to glue it on, make sure that you've got it going the way that makes you happy. So that is the dark pink. We're going to glue that one. Perfect. And now we're going to go to our next pattern. That is going to be the pink pattern with the flowers. It is the lighter pink, and we're going to use this one. light pink with little flowers. And this one's nice and easy. 2 by 4. 2 by 4. So I'm going to do the 2-inch one first. 2 by 4. 2. Put that off to the side. And then 4 inches as well. 2 by 4. Now, like we've done in many of my cards, I like to have a little border on each side. So this is where that scrap of gold is going to come in. This is the gold that you cut off at the beginning. Okay, and we're just going to cut this first to 4 inches. So this is your little scrap. This is not your spare one. This is just your scrap that you cut off. 4 inches. That means you're just taking an itty bitty bit off. And then we're going to make 2 French fries. So we're going to cut it in half. It does not have to be exact. You can use your scissors. I am not measuring. Doesn't matter. It just needs to have 2 French fries. Just like that. And one is going to go on that side with a little border. And one is going to go on the other side. You can use tape if you want. You can use glue if you want. I keep forgetting to put my pin back in. There we go. So I'm just going to do a very thin little dribble. And I don't have this really big. I have it at the same border as what is on my card. They should be the same length because we made them both 4 inches. Okay, and I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side. Okay. And glue that on. Perfect. And then I'm just going to glue this to my card, so make sure your card is opening right. I'm going to glue it flat on the right-hand side. Let's say roughly 1/4 of an inch in. Okay, roughly 1/4 of an inch in. It's going to be flat, should go from top of card to top of card. Just some glue on the back. And about 1/4 of an inch in. And that looks pretty good. Perfect. Now, pardon me here. I did tell you to have this spare gold piece. I don't want you to cut from your kit. I'm sure you have some gold either from a previous class, previous Crafty Hour, or in your stash. I always keep piles in my stash. So this is now the 3.5 by 3.5 we are going to use. That is that spare piece of gold. Now, if you didn't get one, could you do it without? Yes. Yes, we're going to use it for this piece right here. So yours just won't have gold around it. Could you use a cardstock color? Absolutely. If you want to choose one of your cardstocks, you can. So we're going to take this plaid, and this is where our measurements are going to get a little bit crazy. This is 3.5 by 3.5. So we need to cut our pink plaid to just under 3.5 by 3.5. So that's 3 3/8, counting on the odds. So 3 1, 3 3. 3 3/8, right in between 3 1/4 and 3.5. And this needs to be a square. So rotate it and make that same cut. 3 3/8. 3 3/8. Okay. Double check before we put glue on it. Looks perfect. Make sure you get that gold border and then go ahead and glue those two together. Oops. Glue. Oops, I just grabbed. That one's empty. I need mine. Glue that onto your gold. All right, perfecto. And then apply foam tape on the back of this. This one needs to have some foam tape now. We're going to attach it onto our card right about there. Even top to bottom, a little bit of pink showing on the right-hand side, and even top to bottom. This is going to get foam tape. So let's find our foam tape. And then once we're done with this, we are ready to start decorating this card. All of our cutting is done. We'll bring in our die cuts and start that one. Okay. So even top to bottom, pinch it over a bit, just like so. Okay, so we don't need these anymore. We've already cut everything, so I'm going to put that away. I'm going to bring in the die cuts. And we have a lot to do here with our die cuts. There's going to be quite a bit. We're going to start with our little wood grain here. And that is going to glue flat a little bit closer to the left-hand side, a little bit closer to the top. Now remember, we're then going to glue this on top. So do make sure that you leave a little bit of room to take that on. I'm going to say right about there is probably good. And both of those are going to get glued flat. So you do the door first. Okay, remembering to leave that itty bitty bit around. That is probably good. And then with this one, you could use your sticky specs. I left mine at home this morning. That probably would have been a good idea. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get a little tricky. I'm going to put a very thin, all the way around the door, not in midair. Now, I don't need it all. If I skip a spot, it's okay. But I am making this extremely thin. Okay, let me tell you, and this does dry clear and it does dry matte, so if you get a little bit, but you can see how very little I have put on it, and then I'll just put this on top. That might be the safer. There we go. And I'm going to be covering up a lot of this left side, so that works. Cover my glue. Okay, now this could be a cute little fairy door. It could be a cute little terrarium. You can use this as a shaker. Put an acetate in there. You could put some mushrooms in there. All kinds of fun things. Okay, we're going to start decorating. First thing is this one with the bouquet and the hands, which I thought was kind of creepy. Not going to lie. I don't like the hands. Nice nail polish, but I'm just going to use it for the flowers. I didn't quite like it. So this is going to go up right here in the top. We are only going to see the flowers. I have made it so that this tall blue one is right up in the corner, going towards the top, kind of like so. Okay, and if you want to cut off the hands because they are creepy, well, I'm just going to tear them off. I know, they're kind of weird. That's just me. I'm like, I don't really like that one. I never thought I'd use it. When I go through my die cuts, I pick my favorites. And sometimes, like that one went into the no way pile. Like, no way. But, you know, sometimes you go back and you look at them a little bit different. And that's what I did with that one. I saw the flowers. And I'm like, okay, but wait. The flowers are good. So we're just going to... stick that like that. I personally wouldn't use them with the hands, but that's just me. So I ripped my hands off. Boom. Bye-bye. Okay, that's the first one. You can see I've got it close to the side of the card, very close to the top of the card, ripped off the hands. We're going to keep building on this side. The next one we're going to use are these pretty pink and orange flowers, a little bit of gold. I'm just double checking. What did I do? Looks like a little bit of double foam tape on here. Now you can see that where it's going to go. So here's what I find better to do. I'm going to do double foam tape, and I'm going to put them right where those hands used to be. Right where those hands used to be. And then this is going to go up. And again, don't stress anything yet. It's going to go like that. Okay, so I find it easier when I'm working on this to put the foam tape where I want it. If I want to tuck a little one under there, maybe a tiny little piece, I can double up and squeeze it under there. But that way I know I'm good. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do next is jump down to the pretty little stump here. And this is going to go on the bottom. So I'm going to start placing it now. And this one also will get double foam tape. Double foam tape. Now I know I'm still going to move a few things in there. Stuff a few things. So I'm not going to go right to the very, very top. That way, if I can still stuff something under there. And this is going to come off that bottom corner just a little bit, just like that. Okay, so far so good, so far so good. The last floral piece to go over here is going to be this one, and it's going to just go like so. And what I'm going to do is, again, put the foam tape where I know is the best place for the foam tape. So one more piece, double. And instead of trying to put it on my die cut and thinking it's going to be in the way, this is what works for me. I'm going to put it right there because I know that that's the proper spot. And then we're going to bring this in. I'm going to slightly tuck it underneath. I'm going to rotate it just a little bit. And there we go. If I want extra foam tape, I can. I don't feel the need to. Okay, so all of our flowers are there. We no longer have a creepy hand. Very good. I'm going to bring in no, I'm not going to do the mushrooms. I'm going to do the sign. Say yes to new adventures. I'm going to carefully take that off. And I'm going to put some foam strips on there. If I can find my foam strips. Foam strips on my little sign. Now this was your die cut sign. I appear in my mess to have lost all my foam strips. How is that even possible? Good gracious. Okay. I just have them. Bear with me one sec while oh, they're under my die cutting machine. I lose things too often. Okay, foam strips. No, I'm seeing the comments, Courtney. I think they're just busy. They are rocking and rolling. I have seen some comments. Leslie Ann ripped off her hand. All right. So a little bit of foam. They know I'm working them hard so we can get our last card in. And this is going to go right about there. Okay, I'm not right at the bottom because I still have to bring in that sign. So let's talk about the sign. And you know what? Let's grab the butterfly and those two little mushrooms as well. Let's just get all of those. I'm going to pop my butterfly up. Oh, I'm glad that you're making along with me, Kay. Some people find it easier just to watch and then go back at their own speed. It's totally fine. Different than a class, right? So we got a pop dot, and I'm just going to put that little butterfly right there. And if you look at your map, you can almost see that there is some score lines. There isn't. It is an optical illusion. It's a white line, but it looks like it. So if you just kind of fold it right in half with the map facing out, that's going to be your first thing. So fold the map in half. I have my repositionable tape still on there, so that you get this mountain. You get the peak. Okay. And then we can, again, you'll see just a slight little line. Fold it up, almost like you're making a little paper airplane. And then you can undo it. Isn't that cute? Oh my gosh. It's so cute. Now we're only going to put glue on those two little bumps at the back so that it sits. It's going to cover the line, and it will need a few minutes to fit, but it's so cute. So I'm going to put glue. You could put tape if you want, but I'm just going to put some glue right on those little bumpy bumps. And I'm just going to glue it there. Hold it for a sec. It'll take. And again, you can have it kind of as bumpy as you want. And then the last thing for this card is we're going to choose another saying. I did Let Life Surprise You. I think I'm going to do Have a Wonderful Day. And this one already had foam tape because I was going to use it previously. So you can put foam tape. And I'm going to put it right between the flowers. Right between those flowers. And then the last thing is a little bit of foam tape. I'm going to use my foam strip again behind my mushrooms. And those are going to tuck slightly like they're underneath my little puffy phrase. Okay. A little bit of mushrooms in there. Ah, so cute. So cute. Okay. That one is done. Isn't it adorable? So cute. I love the map. I just think the map is precious. Okay, last card for Crafty Hour. Slide these apart. I'm going to wait for my map to dry. No die cutting for this one because we have already done the die cutting. We have our 2 leaves. Okay, so let me bring in everything. We're going to go with, again, the 2 leaves, Wanda, are for this card. Right here, we're going to bring them in on this card. I just wanted you to die cut them at the same time because it was a lot easier. So, let me pull this. Had you pull a lot of die cuts for this one too. And again, we're going with a whole different color theme. Whole different color theme on this one. You are going to use some chipboard as well. So we have all of the die cuts, and then I asked you for, again, some vellum, 3 1/4 by 4 1/4, and a spare gold, 1 1/2 by 2 1/2. Again, if you didn't bring that, that is okay. I'll show you what I'm going to be using it for. So there is my vellum, and there is my gold spare. These are the 2 papers I would like you to find. The gold foil one that is the geocachers, and then the gold-ish stripe. Almost kind of mustardy, but we'll call it gold. Oh, and yes, I posted them both on Crafty Hour for the die cuts. Oh, I see what you mean. Well, that's okay. You can find it. You missed that little spare bit. And then again, don't forget, we just die cut these. So these were not part of your homework, but I just had you do them. Okay, another card base. And this is the spare gold from our last card. So we want to cut this to just under 5 1/2. That's going to be my first cut. Right now, it measures 5 1/2. I'm going to do it on that side. Right now, it measures 5 1/2, so I'm just taking 1/8 of an inch off. Ittle bittle, just a little. So it's 5 3/8, just a little. And then I want it to be 4 1/8. That is just over 4. A little bit came off of that. This was the piece that was left over. Let's have a look. I think that fits fine. Go ahead and glue it on there. I didn't cut anything out of the middle this time. If you want to, you might want to just set it aside and cut everything. I'm not going to worry about it this time. I am just going to glue it on. And then I'm going to start cutting paper. Okay. So we're going to go to that geo paper. This little paper here. This gold was left over from the previous card, Martina. We just cut it for the previous card. So it was your leftover. That's the gold that's in your kits. So this pattern paper, white with gold little geos, I am going to put it so that they are on their side. They look like little teardrops. I'm going to lie them down. And I'm going to cut 4 inches. That way we know that those geos are going to go the right way. 4 inches. It makes me very happy when we get full lines. I am going to straighten this one up because it looks a little crooked. Okay, so 4 inches, and then the length that we need it to be is 5 1/4. So put it in your trimmer and cut 5 1/4. Now, I realized after, I think they go this way, and I put them on my card upside down, but I'm pretty sure that is the direction that they're supposed to go, with the point facing down. So go ahead and glue that onto your card. I am not worried that my other one is going the other way. Doesn't stress me out because I don't even use those, so I am okay. It is a little like a pin drop of where you're going. A little pin drop. Okay. Beautiful. I love that gold. Now the next paper is this one. The mustardy gold stripes. This one I need you to cut 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. I'm going to do the 3 1/4 first, and I'm going to do it with the stripes. So stripes are tall up and down. I'm going to take it to 3 1/4, and I am cutting with the stripe. 3 1/4 with the stripe. And then I'm going to trim it to 4 1/4. So 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. Now that is the same measurement, coincidentally, of your vellum. And the reason why I chose to put vellum on here, and this is an option, you can have it just like that, and actually it probably would look fine, but I like vellum to be kind of like a diffuser. It kind of just tones down the pattern. I use it sometimes when the pattern can be a little bit overbearing for my project. Now, the problem obviously with vellum is gluing. So I know by looking at my card, I have ability to put glue on the left and down on the right. So that's where I'm going to start based on my card. I know that I'm going to cover this little area with tape. With die cuts. I know I'm going to put a die cut there and a die cut there. And that is more than enough for vellum. Vellum is really light. So you don't usually need too much. I also find that this glue tends to, it really just kind of mushes out, and when it's dry, it's not super noticeable either. Okay, so that is enough. You don't need to worry about any more. And I am going to foam tape this in the center of my card, making sure that I put that glue in the spots I'm going to cover. So I put glue on the left, make sure I don't flip it. Don't want to do that. I'm going to put a little bit more in the middle here because I am going to build on it. And I'm just going to put it right in the center. Okay. Now really, all that is involved is starting the die cuts, and that's it. We have just a little bit more to do. So I'm going to start with these die cuts over here. So if you find all your little die cuts, there is a lot. I'm going to start with the largest white. Now, because we're going to do so many layering, we don't want to cover the backs of these with too much tape. So I'm going to double this one up. Double, and I'm just going to put it in the middle. And this one is going to sit right at that edge. Okay, oops, come back. Just like that. And it's double. That's going to allow me to build die cuts. So what I tend to do is I start with the tall one, and each layer I work down with my foam tape. So that one was a double. I'm now going to grab this big gray one. It's going to be a single. And this to me has kind of one side that's flat, so I'm going to stuff that underneath like so. And then I'm going to take the yellow leaf, and I'm going to trim it just a little. I'm probably going to get rid of the stem part. Let's just rip that stem part off. It's going to go flat at the top. Okay, so I just need a little bit of glue behind here. Zoop. And that's going to go flat. Okay, so I've kind of done the top. I'm now going to curve around the bottom. So again, remember that one was double. I'm going to bring my darker gray brown one in with one foam tape. Slide it under. The lighter one, I think I did a little foam tape on this one. I think I did, and I'll show you why in a sec. I'm gonna get that up and over, okay? And then this green leaf is the one that came in flat. Like so. Now, again, it's a little long, so I'm just going to tear off the bottom, and I'll show you how I covered that. Yep, I think that's good. I'm going to cover that corner. We're going to use those die cut leaves in a sec, and I'll show you how we cover that. I want to cover my corner. I think I'm going to do it like that. So far, so good. You have two of these little leaves, and I wanted to bring these in just to add a pop of color that is going to work with the die cut. So one of these leaves, I'm going to use the bigger of the two. I am going to kind of I'm going to tear off that stem too, apparently. I am going to put this flat, but cover up that edge of the leaf. Okay, so it's going to go right there, covering up where I tore it. A little bit of glue. Perfect. And this leaf, I'm going to put kind of right in between that space. And just because I'm going to add a little bit of foam strip there to support it. Oopsie. So again, you can see where I've got it. Bring this foam strip in. And that's. Okay, couple more things and this card will be done. We're going to take our 2 stumps we have, our 2 logs. You got a big one and a small one. And we're going to just kind of glue this one flat over here in the corner. Okay, put that one kind of like that. We are going to cover up most of this with our chipboard. And then the smaller one, this too will be flat. I'm going to bring it up a little bit, kind of like that. Okay, now I am going to be pretending you are going to grab your chipboard. This chipboard says, "Life is meant for good friends and great adventures." I don't have that anymore, so I'm going to pretend. Let's see, it's about 1.5, just under 1.5 by about 2.25. You're going to be attaching it to this gold. I'm just going to pretend so that I can finish it. I can always go back and stamp on it. Let's see, just about 1.5. So grab yours. You're just going to put it on there. And if you need to adjust it, you can. It actually should be okay. Just a tiny little border of gold all the way around. It does have adhesive on it. Those chipboards do have adhesive. If you want to add extra, you can. So we're going to pretend that that is your piece. Yours is a chipboard that has those words. Of course, you may want to stamp something on it. And this is going to go with double foam tape. This is the only foam tape we all use. This is the pretty much the only foam tape I sell in the store. It is scrapbook adhesives. And I like to use the size that is the 54 foot. Comes in white and black. Okay, now this we're going to put right about like that. Okay? Double foam tape. Double. Then we're going to bring in our cute little fox. We're going to do a double foam tape on him. He is going to overlap my sign a bit. So I'm going to try not to put any foam tape kind of on his chest. Okay, maybe I'll do a little bit down on his butt. But no foam tape on his chest because you can see he's going to overlap. That would be not good if you do. Okay, so this is going to go right like that. Yours should look a lot cuter than mine because yours is going to have words. Now also on your chipboards, which I don't have any left, I'm just double checking, nope. You're going to have a little white flower and a little yellow leaf. Go ahead and glue those on, tucking underneath. Now if you need to cut it, of course you can. Chipboard will cut. So if you feel that your flower needs to be cut in half, just take your scissors and cut it. Okay? I don't have those left anymore. I'm just going to use that. And maybe a green one because I have it. But you should be looking for your white flower. I'm just going to do those because why not? You should be looking for your white flower and your yellow leaf. Those are going to go up towards the top, which I did not do. So let me move them. Because then you're going to bring those boots in. These boots were made for walking. And that's just what I'll do. And put a little foam tape behind my boots. And I'm just going to stick them over top like so. Last thing. Back to your puffy stickers. You can choose any puffy sticker you like. This one said some kind of wonderful. This one's going to stay on the happy trail. And I did that flat right on the bottom. And then I did a little one. I don't really like any of these other ones. I did best day just because it matched the colors. And I put that up in the corner. And then if you want, you can also take your vellum and stick a little adhesive behind that. I don't think I like any of these colors with it, so I'm not going to do that on mine. That's it. That is it. We have done all 3 cards. We are 2 minutes over. Woohoo! Let's bring these cards back in. 3 of them. Okay. And before I let y'all go, I'm going to do a couple of quick announcements. Most importantly, Courtney's got an amazing project for you guys at 5 o'clock Pacific time, 7 o'clock Missouri time. And you're not going to want to miss it. It's going to be fun. So make sure to tune in. Of course, if you can't tonight, it will be taped, so you can always watch it. You need to go to Courtney's Facebook page, Scrapbook and Memories, to see that. And you guys all know this. Heck, we're on going on number 20 right now, so this is not new. Now, so speaking about the next one, tomorrow is number 21. Now we're going to announce it. Courtney, what time do we usually announce it? Is it 9 a.m. my time or 10 a.m. my time? I can't even remember. But, wow, she's got a lot of funny numbers there. 2, 4, 6, I don't even know. So we have an announcement for tomorrow. Now remember, it is discontinued. We've had it in our back rooms, 9 a.m. my time, 11 a.m. Courtney's time. We have had this in our back room for at least 6 months, maybe longer. So we can't get any more. Oh, you were using it as a calculator. That's hilarious. Well, you know I do that. So we can't get any more. So don't wait. Do not wait. I think you're going to love it. Diane is going to take over for Clipper Street. It is going to be amazing. I'll share all the details tomorrow, but Courtney and I have what we have and we can't get any more. So you want to make sure that you tune in for tomorrow because let's just say we're going to deck the halls. That's all I'm going to say. Now, the other thing I want to tell you is we've had a lot of people asking about the next Crafty Hour because it's going to be using the 3D cards, and some of you haven't done that before. So I am going to do a quick video on them. One of the cards I want you to do differently. So I'm going to do a quick video, but that video is going to be in our Crafty Hour Creations Facebook group. So if you are not in our Crafty Hour Creations, I think all of you should be, then you have to go over there because that's where I'm going to do a quick little homework video for that one. Okay, so that is for the Crafty Hour number 20. I'm going to do a quick little homework because I don't want you guys to get too far ahead in your homework. I'm going to show you real quick. It's going to be like a 10-minute video max, just for those that have never done one before. So where are you going to be tomorrow morning? Right? You are going to be registering for the newest Crafty Hours because I don't want you to miss out. Some of you guys come back to us and say, please, 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 can you get more? Unfortunately, we can't. Both Courtney and I have looked and they are discontinued. And that's because we bought it 6 months ago. All right, that's it, guys. Thank you so much. And don't forget, set your alarms for Courtney's class with this afternoon. You're going to love her Crafty Hour. It's very unique. And I'm going to give you a little hint. She's going to kill me. It is not cards. So we'll see you then. Bye-bye.